Mike Pompeo, a Fox News contributor. Great to have you with us today, Mike. Let's start with the Caribbean, and then we'll move to Ukraine, if I may. The presence of General Kane in the area, the ramp up of our forces in the area, where do you think this is going? And do you believe that the White House, that President Trump wants to see Maduro toppled?
Well, Martha, it's great to be with you. Thanks for having me on. The fact that Mr. Kane is there is telling. I'm glad he's going there to thank the troops. I'm confident he's going there for more than that, not only to send a message, but to listen and to learn about what capabilities we have and what we can deploy and how successful it might be. I do think that this administration understands that this is all part of a larger puzzle, right? The Venezuelans, supported by the Cubans, the Russians, and the Chinese now in our own neighborhood. And getting rid of Maduro gives the Venezuelan people a shot, keeps us safer. So I think that this administration is very serious about continuing to ratchet up the pressure on the regime such that the Venezuelan people get an opportunity to have a leadership that can actually protect them and give them a shot at prosperity.
What do you think the chances are of Maduro being toppled? Because President Obama also wanted to see Maduro toppled, and he's still there.
Yeah, well, we took a shot at it in the first Trump administration too, Martha. You'll recall that as we were working along that to put pressure on Maduro and his regime. We were not successful at giving the Venezuelans what they needed. This time they've been willing to do more. We never know how these end. When you least expect these things, sometimes they happen. And I think that the leadership in Venezuela outside of Maduro now can see that there is a window, and maybe with enough opportunity and enough pressure, we can deliver that outcome. It would be a really good thing for the people of the region, in addition to the people here in America.
All right. Secretary Pompeo, let's take a look at the map of Ukraine and the area that Russia has successfully taken over, and the area that they might gain some additional territory in as we look at this 28-point deal. When you read this deal, the initial deal, and we know it's evolving, what went through your mind, and would you have said yes to it if you were Zelensky?
So when I read it, I took two things on board. One is this is an opening salvo. This was not going to be the final deal. Had I been President Zelensky, I suppose I would have rejected it just as he clearly has. But I would also seen it as the fact that my country's at an inflection point. We've been fighting this war for a long time. Maybe we can build off of this to get to something that's acceptable. And I think Zelensky, and frankly, I think for Secretary Rubio in America, we're going to land in the same place. One, we don't trust a single thing Vladimir Putin signs, right? No matter what he signs, it's not particularly meaningful. This will be hard-powered deterrence that will have to be put in place. And you can see the security guarantee starting to take shape that might achieve that. Then second, Ukraine has to have independence, both political and military, the capability to continue to defend itself in the years ahead. If they can get a model, an agreement that leads that same place, the fact that we may have to accept that the Russians will continue to hold this ground for a while, the ground that they took by aggression, the evil war that they started, it may be that is an outcome that is a maximalist outcome for Ukraine and for Europe and, frankly, for the United States that can be achievable today.
I mean, pretty much everything that has been presented to Russia, they've shot down, and they're losing 20,000 people a month, which is what they lost in the entire Afghanistan war. What do you think about how much pressure Putin is under? We know he doesn't really appear to care too much about how many people he loses, at least up until now. But do you think he's at a point where he might be willing to make some sort of deal to end this thing, at least for now?
Martha, I've seen no evidence of that. Apparently, he was prepared to take that 28-point deal where he was given some land he hasn't even been able to take. Yeah. That's perhaps not surprising. It wouldn't surprise me if he would have rejected that and asked for more again. I haven't seen any evidence that he's prepared to lay down his weapons. We should all keep in mind, President Zelensky agreed to a ceasefire that President Trump wanted months ago, and it was Putin who rejected that and then went to Anchorage and basically stiffed the Western world. So I haven't seen any evidence that Putin's prepared to do that. I don't think we have remotely put enough pressure on him. I don't think the Biden administration did. I don't think this administration has done enough. The more we talk about putting pressure on Putin, the more likely it is that he will say, okay, that's enough, and finally get us the peace that every single person wants.
Secretary Pompeo, thank you very much, and good Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well, Martha. So
thank you very much, Mike.